Hello, my name is Rick, and I'd like to welcome you to my new channel, Rick Reviews Video Games. Original title, I know, I'm an original guy. This video is a primer on my approach to reviewing video games. I think it's important for you to know a bit about me and what I like so there's context to the reviews I put out. That way, you can kind of see how your tastes line up with mine, and if they don't, hopefully you can at least find my viewpoint interesting. First off, a little bit about me. I'm 39 years now, and I started playing video games when I was about 4 years old. My dad had the old Atari system, and I can remember playing Pitfall and just being utterly captivated. My mom worked at KB Toys, and so when the Nintendo came out, I was actually one of the first kids to get one. Growing up, I had a Sega Genesis, then a PlayStation 1, and then the PlayStation 2. I came a little late to the first Xbox, but then for the next generation, I had both the 360 and the PlayStation 3. Now I have a PS4 and an Xbox One X, and I also have a budget PC. Over the years, I've had a few handhelds as well. They weren't my main thing, but since I'm being thorough, I've had a Game Boy, a Sega Game Gear, a PlayStation Vita, and the Switch Lite. So you could kind of say I co-evolved with video games, and playing them has been my longest hobby. For me, dropping into a good game is like meditation. It's where I find my zen, and this channel is meant to be my love letter to my favorite pastime. In my reviews, I'm hoping to offer opinions that you find interesting, or maybe I can articulate a point you agree with, but maybe we're having a hard time putting into words yourself. Basically, I want you to enjoy these videos. As to the presentation for my reviews, right now I plan on just showing my personal gameplay, and if there's going to be spoilers, I'll try to give you a heads up. But if you're the type of person who wants to go in as a blank slate, maybe skip reviews until after you've played the game, because inherent in reviews are at least light spoilers. I mean, the point is to discuss the game, and it's hard to do that without, you know, discussing the game. I will be generating my reviews after I complete a game. In 90% of the cases, that means I completed the story. Although, when a game is a service, or if the game is bad, I may provide a review based on a partial playthrough, but I will be open about my experience with the game. I tend towards single player narrative based games. That being said, though, I've done some serious work in Destiny 2, so you may see some of that as well. This brings me to my review system, which I actually spent a fair amount of time thinking about. Like, do I want a review system that only I use, or do I want a letter grade or a number? Each one has its own merits. Consider ACG, who really dials into the various elements of the game and then provides a bottom line about what you actually care about, whether and when you should get a specific game. If you haven't already, you should check out ACG's reviews. In my opinion, he's the best out there, but I also hope you watch my videos. So, anyway, I ended up deciding that I wanted to give you a review that's easily digestible in a format of the old 10-point scale. And while that can result in a reductive number score, I still think there's value and it's obviously going to be a point of discussion. My approach is to rate the game as a whole, which means I'm not going to give a score to graphics, sound, acting, etc., and then provide some sort of mathematical formula to arrive at my score. What it does mean is that I'm going to rate the overall experience front to back. This is the best approach for me because it captures all the small things that can come together to make a game great or terrible. In addition, I'm not going to be using decimal points. Otherwise, it's really just a 20, 40, or 100-point scale, and I will leave that tedium to the review aggregators. But I am also going to give you a value added proposition at the end of each video and try to let you know if I think a game is right for you. Now I'd like to provide you some quick reviews so you can get a sense of what I like. Of course, we have to start at the top, the Holy Grail, the Bee's Knees, the White Whale, a perfect 10 out of 10. These games are a must play. Like, they're true achievements in the medium. I do want to clarify one thing though. A 10 is not a perfect game. No such thing exists. And there may still be some small glitches, but when you come down to it, the game is a masterpiece. In this category are games like 2018's God of War. Seriously, the game might be an 11, but that's against the rules, so it gets a 10. Other 10s are Red Dead Redemption 2, Ori and the Blind Forest, Skyrim at the time, and while controversial, I know The Last of Us 2. I don't really want to get into why The Last of Us 2 is a 10, as I'm just starting this channel out, but maybe when I get better at this, I will do a video and provide my feelings on this game. Then there are the 9s. These games rock. They're fantastic. They probably have a couple issues, maybe I have one gripe, but overall, these games are great. Some 9s are Control and 2017's Horizon Zero Dawn. While having the worst title in all of video game history, it's still a 9. And in their day, I would also have put Fallout 3 and Assassin's Creed 1 in this category. For 8s, I consider these games bangers. They're great. For 8s, they're a ton of fun for people who like that type of game, but there's definitely going to be a crowd that just doesn't click in. I think 8s are special games, but there's going to be something that kind of wears on you. In this category, I would put Ghost of Tsushima, Assassin's Creed Odyssey and Origins, The Surge, and Tacoma. The quintessential 8 is Batman Arkham Knight. Great game, but ugh, the tank. It just sucks. 7s. Now, these games are technically good, but let's be serious. These games have some issues that are definitely gripe worthy. In these games, I'm going to say, look, I'm having fun, but now I'm going to complain about this for a hot minute. Another funny thing about 7s is there are some people who are going to be like, no, that game is definitely a 9. And then I'm going to be like, bro, this sucks, and this sucks. And they're going to completely agree with everything I just said and still stick by their 9. But they are definitely wrong. The other funny thing about 7s, these games are the ones that get the most discussion because you both sing their praise and dump on them. Some examples of 7s are Middle-earth, Shadow of Mordor and War, Borderlands 3, Assassin's Creed 4, Quantum Break, and Final Fantasy VII Remake. I know what you're thinking, but Rick, Final Fantasy VII Remake is a 9 for sure. No, it isn't. The map has the appearance of being open world, but it's about as on the rails as it can be. The defense mechanics are atrocious, enemy variations are minimal, and the dialogue is wonky at best. It's a 7. Okay, so that brings us to 6s. These games are just blah. I mean, I'm not interested. It's fine. Really. It's fine. I'm just not interested in playing. I actually think 6s might be the worst ranking because the game just isn't interesting enough to want to talk about. 6s are utterly forgettable. In fact, let's not spend too much time discussing. A couple of 6s are Shadow of the Tomb Raider, Watch Dogs 1, Assassin's Creed Syndicate, Prototype 2, and Remember Me. Remember that game? Nope, that's why it's a 6. Finally, I'll just say that games I would rank in the 0 to 5 range are games I probably just didn't play. To be blunt, I'm at a place in my life where I'm just not going to waste my time and get frustrated. Also, I don't want to provide examples. I want to celebrate games, not poop on them. But I will say, if I play one, I'll let you know. With that said, I'd like to say thank you for watching. Go watch every single one of my reviews right now. Also, you should like every single one of my reviews, and this one too. Please subscribe if you'd like to see more of what I have to offer. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this. Goodbye.